The main reason of slum is poverty. Because people from rural India just now migrating to urban areas for some sake of employment.
Cities which have been built and so many people are attracted to come here, people who build it, they themselves are homeless. Cities really struggle because of the lack of space.
But the problem is when the population is increasing, city is unable to fulfill the demand of shelter.
It's about 1.2 billion people live in India. 40% lives without proper housing.
Housing is the basic need, and if the poor people spend a lot of money in housing, then what about their future? What about their children? What about their education?
We came here to document the story of the Urban Development Resource Center. The UDRC is involved in urban planning, settlement rehabilitation, social economics, and the construction of much-needed basic housing. This story is about slum dwellers taking ownership of their own development, gaining individual land rights, and forming an identity within the chaotic city they call home.
You know, sometimes I think travel is more than just exploring a destination. It's about connecting with those who call it home. Our world is filled with extraordinary people in some pretty incredible places. We set out to document the stories of people who are making a real difference, to find local community projects that actively empower positive change. This is about their story, their lives, and their vision.
Okay, it is day number 1 in India. We are at the headquarters of the UDRC. The UDRC is the Urban and Development Resource Center based in Bhubaneswar, India. They work primarily with slum dwellers trying to create basic housing to meet those needs of the underprivileged living in urban slums. We're here to document that story, to follow them around and see what it is that they do on a daily basis to make those people's lives better. Overpopulation and urban growth has been a long-standing challenge in India. There's a demand for housing which has greatly exceeded the supply, thus resulting in millions of people being forced to live in slums or out on the street.
People are migrating to urban area, but urban area is not ready for that much migration. So the problem of slum starts from here, the poverty. Why the slum is created in India? Because when people are moving to urban areas, they are just residing in some places like the vacant lands, maybe governmental or non-governmental lands. So they don't have much facilities like sanitation, water supply, the shelter.
Urban land is obviously very precious, commercially very vibrant. So naturally nobody thinks of sharing it with the poor communities. Land right is the biggest challenge in urban housing process, because unless you have land, you cannot really construct any shelter or housing.
As you know, the 40% of community are staying in slums, and out of them 30 to 35% are not educated. So they don't have the idea how to get the basic need from the government.
The slum dwellers face a number of real challenges and unfortunately live in a very difficult world. What they need is support and assistance in overcoming their challenges to begin building a better life.
15 वर्ष धरिकी तो आम लगुचु कहीं थैथान हेले आम किसी सुविधा पाइबू अधिक भल घर टे पाइबू तो पिला माने पढ़िबार सुजोग पाई परिबे निजे भी फ्री फ्रांकली रही पारिबू यूडीआरसी संगे मिसिक ये चाहूँ कहीं आम जो जगार सरकार सागर कथबार्ता हो पारूनु तो यूडीआरसी माध्यम आम सहित कथा हो पारू आम निजर अधिकारटा आम हाँ से आम सेविंग करुचु कारण आम निजे डायरेक्टली घर पाइका एत पैसा दे पारूनु तो किछि पैसा सेविंग करके रखुचु जदि सरकार जगह दिए तो आम किछि निज इच्छा अनुसार घर कर
They live without proper housing, proper livelihood. Life is more into the struggle of getting 2 meals a day. So then they cannot really think of many other quality of life. So how do we create a situation so that they become house owners and build their own house in the process itself?
Whatsoever is the condition in the slum, but that is a home and everybody loves their home.
It is obvious that the slum dwellers need more permanent housing and a place to finally call their own. But with the challenges of bureaucratic land rights, severe poverty, and lack of education, how are they meant to go about doing so?
It's about 10:30 in the morning and we're at Nayapali, which is one of the local slums in Bhubaneswar. This is our first day sort of exploring one of the slums that the UDRC works in, and I'm actually standing on top of a 3-story building which is almost finished construction. They're going to finish within the next couple of months and there'll be 3 different families moving into this location. The NGO is working in relationship with the government and the local slum dwellers to build their home and give them an address and a permanent future, and that's where we are right now. From really basic housing in thatched huts, no water, no electricity, no access to sanitation, and with the help of the UDRC, those families are going to be able to live in a much better environment. And now they've got, toilets, and they're going to have access to clean water and eventually electricity. India offers one of the most diverse and sensory travel experiences you could ever imagine. With a cultural heritage dating back thousands of years, the country is known for its rich history and architecture, intense flavors and foods, exotic wildlife and incredible landscapes, overwhelming cities and a bustling population, which is the 2nd largest in the world, and really has no signs of slowing down.
The city of Bhubaneswar is far from internationally recognized, yet it sits with a population of just over 1 million and an average of 40% of those people living in poverty. Like any urban environment, there are challenges to development, and with a staggering amount of those people living in dire straits, what are some of the possible responses to this situation?
problem
And drinking water problem at that time, there was no supply line.
लाइन भी नथला अंधार रहउथले
There was no electricity at all. There was no rasta thila.
रास्ता भी नथला
There was no roads
कच्चा
at
रास्ता
all.
The Urban and Development Resource Center attempts to meet these challenges and help the slum dwellers of Bhubaneswar. They empower the urban poor to collectively identify and resolve the challenges they face.
The UDRC is providing some finance to them. They are encouraged by that. Okay, if someone is there to help us, someone is there at back who is just giving us the support to work, support to express their knowledge, express their talent.
प्रथमे जाइकी नुआपल्ली रे आगो संचय ग्रुप कलु यूडीआरसी प्रथम रु ही हमको माने स्ट्रांग करिया पई सिखाइछि
तो ग्रुप करने भी सी ही रास्ता देखे ग्रुप कलापर सर्वे फर्वे जो आम कर डायरेक्ट जाकि क्या दूँ.
The role of NGO is actually build trust between the stakeholders, the public, the slum dwellers and the government, because the main thing which lag behind is just trust only.
We feel that there has to be a interface between government and poor communities to work with the poor to negotiate for their rights with the government.
Slum people start trusting on government, they'll start obeying the orders of the government, because government basically what they do, they take the land of those slum dwellers. Building trust is the main and most important part of NGO, which NGO actually do.
छः नंबरटा उठी जीवार सेठू आमको उठे दौले तापर आम उठू नथिलु केवल आरडी जुगो उठू नथिलु लास्ट को कहले जदि उठिबो आमको किछि पटा दियो को जगार स्थान शैतान हबो से जगह पाए आमको पटा दियो आम जाई से जगार शैतान कर हाँ यही सब जिनस बा सी निजे आसिक आमको साइरा बुझेले हर चीज सब.
This morning we're heading off to Puri. It's about 2 hours down the coast from Bhubaneswar, and we're going to visit another one of the sites that the UDRC works with. People from all over India travel to this location for festivals, for the beach, so we want to go and check it out. So it's pretty loud in here, but we're in one of the slums in Puri, and we're about to come around the corner to one of the houses that's been under construction for a little while. This is with the help of the slum dwellers here, the UDRC, and the local government. So this house is being constructed behind us. What are they doing?
Actually, the beneficiary is casting the roof.
Right, and how long will it take for them to finish?
Just in one day, they'll cast the entire roof.
And when can the family move in?
Another 1 month.
And that will completely change their lives, hey?
Yeah, sure.
So the beneficiary's been living in a thatched or tin house in a slum, and now with the help of the UDRC,
They're going to live in a concrete house. In the UDRC, we people are helping the poor to get their basic needs. We help them to educate how you will get your rights from the government, because that is your first human right, to get all the basic need. As you are staying in an urban slum, you should get a road, you should get electricity, you should get better education, you should get better health care and all that, because that is your first right. This is the right to live. We learn them how to save money, and that money they can use in their future.
आगुरु जेतेबेले हमर घर पर भांगु थिला तो सेते बेले हमको यूडीआरसी सहायता करथिला.
Which are the people who actually need it urgently. Then Federation decide, okay, among these 20 people, 10 people should be given loan urgently. So then it comes to the office, we fill the form and do the formalities, and the loan is sanctioned to the person who is needy.
The slum dwellers need the help of the UDRC to teach them saving techniques, slum survey and mapping work, and to show them how they can properly mobilize together to get the loans needed to begin construction on their first stable home.
We try to build people's capacity, skills, so that they address the issue, because it's such a huge issue, such huge population needing this. We don't want to work as a contractor for them. It's their project, they build it.
The
role of the Urban and Development Resource Center is to empower and facilitate slum dwellers to collectively identify and resolve the challenges they face. However, once these goals have been met, what comes next? What does the future hold for the urban poor? In the last 10 years, the UDRC has constructed over 500 basic housing units in the Odisha state of eastern India. Each of these houses have met the identified needs of local families. This organization takes action to help alleviate poverty, to empower slum dwellers, and to be the force on the ground helping initiate positive change.
When I have a land right, then at least I can build a permanent structure over there. So that means I don't have to move time by time. I can stay at one particular place. I have my own address to stay. I have my own shelter to stay. When the facility is provided to them, like home, like house, they are actually thinking, okay, now we got the shelter. Now we can earn for our children so that they should not face this same problem in future.
माने बहुत खुशी माने जो माने पॉलिथिन घरे रहउतिले आ से माने जेबे कोठा रे रहबे से केते खुशी हेबे मो पिलाने भी खुशी मो स्वामी भी खुशी मो भी खुशी जो म्युनिसिपालिटी पानी आमे खाउतलो एठी कोन छी नेकिया करो अछि से पानी फिर खाउ आ एटा एते भय नाही एटा भय तले सेटा उठी जीवो रे गेला पिलाने पाठ छुडते पढुछन चाकरी बाकरी चाहू चाकरी बाकरी भी करियो पिलाने भले रहउ बोली.
Having the stability of a concrete home makes a world of difference for the slum dwellers and allows them the time to focus on new things, to start the beginnings of a new life.
As we are working in the ground, sometimes we show that people get the houses, then the electricity, then all basic needs. Then their next most expectation is for good education of their children. And better tomorrow to get good health. That is the main two things they want next after their housing. Housing is the first, then education, then health.
Now since people are better off, they have a space on the center of the community, so they have this advantage of selling things. Yeah, whether chocolate to biscuits to tea to everything. Strengthen the economy of the community.
बर्तमान एटी असुविधा होची कोन गोटे जदि छोट स्वास्थ्य केंद्र जदि गोटे करा जाय ताले किछि परिमाण रे एठी पाखा पाखी लोक टिके उपकार पाइ.
It's obvious that the UDRC is addressing gaining land rights, saving money, obtaining loans, and building houses. From this act, there are a few definite outcomes. The people live in more stable homes, can create an identity within their city, empower themselves to stand up for their own rights, and allow more time to focus on the future.
There's a precedence that poor can access the land right and shelter right. It's a natural instinct of a human being to make their life better and simpler, and so that they have their life is used for a much more creative way.
This amazing work has some incredible outcomes and is actively empowering positive change. The future of the slum dwellers and their children is forever a question of development and social economics. This example of an NGO taking on the demanding task of providing basic housing for the underprivileged is exactly the kind of thing our world needs.
The government is that side of the river and the poor people is this side of the river. So we have to cross the river. So UDRC is the bridge of that river, you know. Or you may say it's the boat of the river, you may say it's the rope of the river. So it's making bond with government and the poor people. It's making the bridge work.